Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I have the usual suspects. I have Totti,
Yeah,
Aji, and Magu all the way from Canada. Chief Magu, you na special welcome because you na VIP. We got to book you. We got to clear your schedule, all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate you making time,
yo,
man.
chill out, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Make you
serious.
help us bring audience from Canada. If you are watching us for the first time, we're Nigerians in the diaspora. We talk about trending issues. We talk about sports, Nollywood, politics. We talk about stocks, investment, making money and success and family life and all that kind of stuff. So feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and get notified when we have new videos. Boys, so I got Aji. I talked to you this week, and I feel and I talked to someone again yesterday, and he's not very savvy with stock and investment. He's our age. Another guy doesn't have a retirement plan. So there's I think there's a market, there's a niche that we can address. Um, in terms of obviously disclaimer is we're not you know stock experts. We're not hedge fund managers. We're not stockbrokers. We're just young Nigerians who want to be successful. And I think any advice and thoughts and trends that we can bring to the table for people to watch and learn will be well received. Um, so Aji, why don't we start by you kind of leading the way in the sense of the Rivian stock that you talked about this week, because some people may not know what Rivian is, and uh, it's just share the knowledge for us, Chief.
Well, like you said, we're not stockbrokers. We're just regular folks trying to invest in, you know, companies that we think are valuable. I think Rivian is a is an automaker. They make EVs, electric vehicles, and in that space, like we all know, we have Tesla, right? That's like the big boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have other companies as well that are trying to like come up with their own EVs,
Yeah.
but Rivian seems unique because they seem to be coming to stay. Their IPO was going to be at $78 initially, and then by the time it came to the market, it was about I think 106, 108. Now he's trading at 129, $130. So it's been well received. At least you can see that. Which way it's going to go in the future is hard to tell.
Yeah.
But if you look at the trend, if you look at Tesla, and you're thinking, well, is Rivian the new Tesla? We don't know because we can't tell the future. But what we know is that Rivian is backed by
Hmm.
Amazon. Amazon owns 20% of Rivian and also Ford. And then we also know that as of today, Rivian is worth more than Ford, worth more than GM. So it seems like they have the money to push ahead.
Yeah.
So that's what we know. Of course, there's no fundamentals beyond what we already know. We don't have any like
No
no
crystal
sales
ball.
reports.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, but it looks like it might be a new Tesla. So
Yeah.
again, if you're into stocks, it's something you might want to take a look at.
Yeah. And let me chime in. Let me chime in there because I have started listening to a lot of investor podcasts and stuff like that. So I guess the key is following the times, right? So 10 years ago, 2010, I think Tesla did their own IPO. They generated about $220 million. There've been a lot of electric vehicle companies trying to make it that fail, right? So, like I just said, this is like a risk, but if you are going to take a risk, this is the kind of risk you may want to consider. So you do your homework, look up Rivian on the stock exchange. But Tesla, when they came out that time, I can't remember how much they came out for the IPO. Many people bought, some people didn't buy. That share of Tesla that came out for maybe $30, $40 back then, or 20 something dollars back then, that share is $1,000 now, right? So if you bought 200 units of that share back then for, say, however it was, maybe 1K or 2K, or maybe 3K or 4K, that share now is like 200 grand, easy. And it was funny.
And just to chip in, Philip, real quick, and even Tesla had a stock split, I think last December.
Yeah,
So pretty much, if you had 200
double.
shares, that time it was doubled and then multiplied by,
multiply
So
effect.
200 shares at $50 at that time is 400 shares at 1K today.
Yeah,
So that's like,
that's a
yeah.
key point. But the caveat is there are many, like there's fiscal, there are many electrical vehicle stock there out there that you should go look into. Rivian is like like I just said, the fact that Amazon and Ford are backing it. Amazon is saying that they will supply all their delivery, you know, vehicles. The electric pickup truck is what they're trying to sell. And in general, people who are doing stock, is that electric vehicle, that green, clean energy space that many people are going into now. So something to
And
check out.
and the, and the key thing is this, when it comes to like investments, and like you said, the times are changing. If you look at the S&P 500 index, the companies there now were not all there 10 years ago. They were not there 20 years ago. So every time company gets kicked in, the company gets into S&P 500, the company gets kicked out, which means that companies also have to change with the times.
Yeah,
If you don't change with the times, you're going to like just disappear. So
that's a perfect.
if Rivian is coming in as what more than Ford, we've had Ford for like how many years?
Yeah,
Which it means that the world is changing. It
yeah.
means that if Ford doesn't change and start moving towards EV, in another 10, 20 years time, there might be no more
There
Ford.
will be no more Ford.
As as opposed to that, and that also applies to other companies as well. As the world changes, you also have to change. If you don't, then the world will leave you behind.
And a perfect example of what you're saying is, and let me school you guys more too, because as I was listening to this podcast, I don't know, do you guys know what the metaverse is?
Yeah, the Facebook,
Yeah.
uh,
No, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
what they are
not
trying to
even just
do.
that.
I
Yes.
know.
So all these kids now is video games they play, right? And these video games have virtual world, right? So there's internet 1.0, 2.0. They think it's going to be internet 3.0. So there are going to be virtual worlds that you either wear your goggles or you immerse yourself into, and you can start chatting with another person who's in Bulgaria, who's in Spain, and you guys can talk. You can attend shows, you can attend concerts. So it's like another reality. So that space
Yeah,
is blowing up, and I heard Facebook plans to employ like 10,000 programmers in the next how many years to develop a Facebook metaverse. So that's another place. If you there's stocks of people who do the metaverse. There are already companies that do that kind of stuff. That companies that make all those glasses for the metaverse. So
Yeah.
that those are the
Uh,
kind of stocks you can also look into, because you never know, in 5 years that may blow too.
Exactly. And then you can see that Facebook is also like they changed their names to Meta. You know what
Meta.
I mean?
Yeah. So
Just
they're
just
seeing
that's
they're
like pretty
foreseeing
much,
the future.
yeah.
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 And
But
and Facebook stock is a strong buy. It shows you
I
that
should
they
have
are
bought that
yeah,
and
Facebook stock.
yeah,
Facebook stock 3 months ago was $250 or two
it's
forty.
like
Now it's three
nice,
sixty.
nice.
you
Yeah.
know what?
Now it's
I remember when Facebook came out very clearly. That was probably the IPO. I
how much?
think
You
that
remember how
was
much it was?
I know exactly because I was there and I didn't buy.
Hey,
That
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was in
Child.
2010. And I remember talking to one guy, one of my friends that was an investment guy. He used to work for one of the, trading places. I mean, this Facebook, $38. What do you think? The guy was
Oh
like,
boy.
Oh
no,
man.
no. It was 38. Let me confirm. $38. This is
Wow.
2010. This is about 10 years ago. Oh,
Yeah.
$38. He said, man, that IPO is too expensive. This, that. Man, before I know it, even like a few years, it had
Times
already
10.
doubled. And then now it's, there are stocks they call, 10 bagger. Facebook now 38 is around that. It's now probably 10 times that. It's around
10
300
times.
and
Yeah, it's
something. It
three
was
three
probably
something.
380. It dipped a bit to probably 330
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So Tesla, when it came out, let me tell you, that's the one I wish I bought. It came out around 2004. It was $4 and something change. That's like a 200 bagger if you grew for,
Yeah.
because it was like
It's even
386, 3
500. Yeah.
something
It's
in
1,000
2010.
now.
It's
30,
1,000.
30,
That's like
like
200x
6 months
in
ago,
10 years.
Tesla was $600. So even if you didn't buy it in 2010, if you
Brother,
bought it
brother,
6 months
brother,
ago,
brother,
you made
brother,
$400 per stock.
Yeah.
brother. One of my boys made 60K on Tesla between July and January. Yeah, I think he had about him like about 140 shares. So I cashed out on 60K. He just sold. He's about to get
Take
back
off.
in
Yeah, get
again.
back in. So I guess
Wow.
I
Yeah.
guess the misconception is because people may think you have to be successful to do stock, or you have to um the person I'm telling you who told me on Friday that he made a lot of money on Ford stock. He told me to buy Ford stock. That Ford is going to rise. Um,
Fuck.
this guy makes barely any money. He makes more money off stock than he's not.
Philip,
He makes
Philip,
20
Philip,
30K a
Philip,
year. His
Philip,
salary. So for those
Philip.
in Nigeria, that's like a low income
I,
person.
bro, I just googled Tesla. Tesla IPO came out June 29, 2010 at $17 per share.
You know, can you imagine?
$17 per share. Imagine you bought 1K shares that time. Today you're a millionaire.
You're a millionaire. So
Jesus
that's why I
Christ.
think
Yeah.
there's a
Wow.
space for us to discuss this kind of stuff, and hopefully
Yeah.
get people
But
who are even smarter than us, who are more savvy. If you know any,
yeah.
In
you
that
can join
space,
us.
yeah.
I, but I just want to chime in briefly, not to be the, pouring cold water on the fire, but as anyone knows, we're not stock professionals.
That's
Stock
true.
investing has risks.
Yeah,
You can gain money and you can lose all money. And many people always say, invest with disposable income, meaning income that
exactly.
you can afford to lose. Because for every Tesla, there is,
There's $100.
a Nikola
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Yeah,
IPO'd very high, and because of some allegations and suspected fraudulent or misleading things, has crashed.
yeah,
And there's even car makers go out of business regularly. So you have to do your due diligence and know that you can win, you can lose, but obviously there are professionals in this space that can tell you what to do. Not me or not us, but I mean there are personal financial experts that can advise you, usually for a fee, on what to
E-
invest
e-
in.
Exactly. And also, we also should realize that companies that are valuable today can go bonkers tomorrow and can disappear in a week. That is why, we have investment bankers. When they read stocks, they say, it's a buy today, it's a strong buy, it's a hold, it's a sell. Because company dynamics also change. You can have bad management, and then Facebook can disappear tomorrow because of bad management and bad debt
yeah,
or government policies. So
yeah,
even when you're like a player in that space, you have to be conversant with the news. It's
yeah,
a lot of work to keep up to date with your portfolio.
yeah,
So, like again, like we've all said, you have to invest with disposable income because that money can multiply tenfold and can also disappear.
yeah. No, so that's very good advice, boys. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
well,
Mago, go
well
ahead.
said, well said, guys. Um, I think a trick to this is if you're not very sure of where exactly to put your money, you can go by what Dave Ramsey advises, which is to go with mutual funds. And if you like all this kind of technological things like EV vehicles, like EVs, you can do technology-based mutual funds so that your money is spread across different
Diversified.
stocks and
Yeah,
then the risk is shared. So, if a company folds up due to bad management or bad debt, all your money is not lost.
yeah,
And then I have a question. I was chatting with a friend a few days ago and he was talking about hydrogen vehicles. He thinks these EVs are not going to last as long as we think because they use cobalt for batteries. And that mining cobalt itself has significant health risk, carcinogenic materials, bad effects on the thyroid, bad effect on the lungs, and that the cobalt is probably worse than oil and gas that is being kind of demonized today. So has anybody heard much about hydrogen vehicles? Do you know much about them?
I know there are like batteries and um, I think the battery is what you're talking about. So I know there are stocks that deal with those hydrogen fuel. There's a name for them. Is it some hydrogen something
Fuel
batteries?
cell,
Fuel
hydrogen
cell.
fuel
That's it.
cell.
Yeah, hydrogen fuel cell batteries. So there are definitely stocks like that. But there's some that like if you look, there's quantum something quantum space. I think there's some that went high. The same prospects earlier in the year they've gone down to like half of the value. So like you guys said, it's all risk. diversify. The same time, if it's good to be brave, and you don't have to be a millionaire to invest. Use disposable income. Then once you make any money,
Yeah,
take out the money you invest. Then you can use the profit to invest again. So
yeah.
that way
And
you're smart about it.
and just to say, just a final point on that, there are numerous platforms. I think these modern days is the very much easy
Yeah.
or easier to invest even in Nigeria, because there are numerous platforms that um, can you can purchase stock from, both here in America, of course, Robinhood, Weibo, whatever, and even in Nigeria, there are some stock platforms that Nigerians can take advantage of.
Yeah.
So it's a really democratized time in the world of investing, unlike before where you needed to have big money, huge amounts. Now
Yeah.
there's fractional shares. You can buy 1/10 a share of Facebook. So it's really a very good and easy time to be an investor. But at the same time, with the ease comes the risks
Mm.
of investing in the wrong thing. So one must be
Yeah.
diligent.
Okay. Let's.
I personally think that, I personally think that it comes down to cost of production. I feel like hydrogen is still expensive, at this point to like reforecast hydrogen, make them work on hydrogen. I personally think, I thought about this week, that everything will move towards solar. At some point, these EVs be obsolete, and then cars will be powered by solar panels, by solar batteries. In that way, it's much all emission friendly, no emission. That's why I think things will go through. Hydrogen is still natural gas component or derivative. So there's still a process in getting hydrogen to the gas pumps and things like that. But I think EVs are cheaper than hydrogen vehicles, and then it's a cost factor. And I feel like things eventually will go solar.
Okay. Let's
That's
wrap it
my
up.
thought.
Let's wrap it up, guys. Excellent discussion. If you have expertise in stock or investing, would love to have you on. If you are home in Nigeria or abroad, we'd love to have you on. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram or Twitter at Legosian in NYC, or leave a comment on this YouTube video, and we'll reach out to you. Gentlemen, thanks.